Hey guys, welcome to Just Yoga. Sorry, I didn't get somebody to cover in advance, and I can't teach this evening, so I thought I would go ahead and record a class so that you can at least practice with the YouTube link. I know some of you tend to do the YouTube class anyway, so I went ahead and decided to go ahead and teach now and send it out instead of the live one today. So for class, you probably need 2 yoga blocks. And I would suggest if you're going to use some sort of substitution, that tall, thickish books, right? Think Harry Potter and Goblet of Fire versus of Mice and Men, so that you can use it for some stability stuff. You can even go ahead and set them up on either short side of your mat. We're going to kind of play around with moving around on the mat today. And so you'll need to let one be on one end and one on the other. That way we don't have to worry about shifting and moving our props as we move around the mat. If you only have one block or only one thick book handy, no worries, you'll just kind of stop and shift the prop to the other side as we move through practice. To start class today, let's go ahead and find a child's pose. Setting up for child's pose that's comfortable for you. As always, feel free to grab additional props, right? Maybe like a blanket or a bolster for later in class. Just make sure everything's handy, so you don't have to leave the mat once we've arrived and settled here. So find your child's pose, maybe that a wagging child's pose. Maybe you choose to hang out in puppy. You have a blanket. You might pad between your hamstrings and calves. If you have any joint pain in your knees, that might help reduce pressure. So as you settle, find that comfortable place and surrender onto the mat. Feeling supported and grounded in this posture. Perhaps noticing how your body settles into child's pose, where your body is in contact with the mat. Maybe you notice space between the shins and the floor, or maybe you feel full contact. Maybe you feel your hips dropping toward the heels, elongating through the way back. As you continue to pause in your child's pose, maybe you decide to set an intention to guide your practice. Maybe that intention is paying attention to contact and connection, contact of limbs and extremities to the mat, being connected or transitioning between postures. Maybe you draw your attention now to the connection points or points of contact where your body meets the mat. Feeling free, of course, to set any other intention, but maybe you focus on that idea of cultivating contact and connection. Given our current situations, we may be craving some of that contact and connection. And so seeing how you can find those things that may be in different ways and paths than we're used to. Wherever you are in your breath cycle, go ahead and exhale everything out. We'll inhale deeply, feeling the back expand. Maybe you feel space through the rib cage. Exhale, sigh everything out. Inhale deeply. Exhale, audible sigh out. 2 more just like that. Deep inhale. Exhale, sigh. 1 more inhale. Exhale, sigh. Inhale, keeps you centered. Exhale, creeps those hands to the right side of your mat. Stretching out the left side body. Taking 3 rounds of breath here. Your next inhale walks you center, and the exhale treats you to the next side. Inhale brings you center. Pausing in the middle for a full round of breath. And your next inhale pulls you forward into your tabletop. Realign your joints as needed, scooching any props out of the way. Perhaps even padding under the knees if you have a blanket. Feeling length through the spine. Maybe even feeling as if you're making a double chin as you press the back of the head slightly back. Your next inhale drops the belly as you look up, cow pose. Exhale, rounds to cat. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Finding one more through this traditional pass of cat-cow. And maybe you shift into intuitive movement, circling or jump roping the spine, wiggling, wherever it feels good, as you find about 5 more rounds. Those circles can be big or little. And we'll eventually return to our neutral supported spine. Pausing in stillness. Once again, drawing your attention to the points of connection here. Hands, knees, shoelace sides of the feet, shin. Inhale, reaches your right arm high. Exhale, leaves and covers. Inhale, steps. Exhale, pivot. Earth 3. 2. 1. This time as we thread, we lower into our threaded needle. Maybe you extend the top arm. Maybe you wrap for a half bind. Your next inhale unweaves. Exhale, settles the right hand down. Inhale, swap side. Left hand reaches. Exhale, breath. Inhale. Exhale. For 3, 2, 1. As you thread, settle in for your stretch. Finding the placement of that top arm that works best for you. The next inhale stacks you up, unweaving. Exhale, settles, neutral spine. Maybe the hands walk about one handprint forward. As you tuck your toes, pressing your hips up and back to your down dog. Giving yourself intuitive movement, walking your dog, wagging your tail, maybe lifting and lowering the heels. As you feel the hands active on the mat, shoulders pressing away from the ears, neck is loose. Finding your movement for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pausing in the outward stillness of your down dog. Once again, drawing your attention to the points of contact or connection to the mat. The farther we leave from the floor, the less physical contact we have. We've shifted from child's pose to table, and now down dog. Hands and feet have always been connected, but there's been more in between. Now, your points of stability and connection are farther apart. Your next inhale curls you up and out to high plank. Exhale, presses the hips up and back. For 3, 2, 1. Pausing in a high plank, knees lowered down, passing through our modified chaturanga, elbows come back, chest comes forward and down. Inhale, lifts halfway, finding that baby cobra. Elbows pulling down and back, crown of the head reaching forward. Exhale, releases. Tucking the toes, maybe pass to child's pose. On your way to down dog. Inhale, lift your right toes high, passing through three-legged dog to open through the hip, bend through the knee, maybe circle through the ankle. Again, points of contact and connection have shifted. Squaring it back off, right leg lowers, left leg lifts. Opening through the hip on the second side. And squaring it off. Pausing in down dog. Inhale, curls you up and out to high plank. Knees lower. Modified chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Shifting your way back to down dog. Inhale, lift your heels, bend to the knees as you look forward. Exhale, steps hop forward, walks you to the top of your mat. As you arrive there, widen your stance. Grab for elbows and hang in ragdoll. Knees can be as bent as you prefer. You get a little bit of a sway. Again, points of contact and connection to the mat have shifted. Releasing your grips. Heel toeing the feet underneath you. Next, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, holds. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, folds. And bending deeply through the knees, tucking the tail, stacking your way up to mountain pose. Reaching the arms overhead, hands pause at heart center. Taking inventory, feeling rooted and grounded through your feet on the mat. Maybe you need a quick sip of water. I know I usually teach as your mirror. Today I'll be cueing and doing the same legs, mostly because rotating around the mat and cueing different legs will just get way too confusing. So just know that going in, it'll be a little different than when I face my mat short edge to you. So as you're ready, if you haven't already set up your blocks, the two edges of the mat, go ahead and do so. And then we'll meet in mountain pose. Feeling that connection between each toe and the entire foot with the mat. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, hinges forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, steps the right foot back. Hovering in your high lunge, fingers grazing the floor. Spine long, crown of the head reaching up and forward. Inhale, stacks the spine. Exhale, hinges to hover. For 3. 2. Spine is long. Last one. Returns to crescent. Elbows go wide, chest opens. Inhale brings us center. Exhale swoops us open to warrior 2. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, bend. For 3. 2. 1. Settling into the bend. Front palm flips, exalt. Inhale, returns neutral. Exhale, tips us forward, extended side angle. Reaching today, thinking long diagonal line, fingertip to blade edge of foot. Inhale long here, exhale, rounds and threads. Inhale, reach. For 4. 3. 2. 1. Pulling yourself up, straightening through the front knee, turning the toes to the long edge of the mat, and turning the right toes to the back edge, shifting your hips, bending through the front knee, warrior 1, in the opposite direction. Hands come to heart center. Weight shifts forward. You come up on the back toes if you like. Launching it forward, warrior 3. 2 shoulders and 2 hips squaring to the mat. Once again, points of connection and contact have shifted. Then hands reaching for the block, choosing your height, finding standing out. Inhale, lengthens here. Exhale, brings the left knee behind the right, bending, chest lifts up. Inhale, extend. For 4. 3. 2. 1. Settling the left foot to meet the right. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lifts. Exhale, folds. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands up. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands plant, left foot steps back. Covering our high lunge. Stabilizing, lengthening the spine. Inhale, scoop it up. Exhale, hinges and reaches. For 4. 3, really feeling grounded through the front and back foot. 2. Last one, you might have done an extra, but that's okay. Returning up to crescent. Elbows go wide, chest open. Inhale, returns. Exhale, swoops open. Warrior 2 on your second side. Inhale, arms reach as the front leg straightens. Exhale, settles to your bend. For 4. 3. 2. 1. Sinking into the bend as you flip the front palm to exalt. Inhale, returns. Exhale, tips up, extended side angle. Feeling that long line first. Inhale here. Exhale, wraps and twists. Inhale, stacks. For 4. 3. 2. 1. Stacking and pulling back up. Straightening the knee, rotating the toes, shifting the left toes forward as you bend through the knee, shifting in to warrior 1. Hands come to heart. As you lean the chest forward, maybe the back toe or back heel lifts as we march to warrior 3. Feeling strong and connected through the standing leg. Then hands reach your block, standing out. Exhale brings the right knee behind the left, bending chest lift. Extend. For 4. 3. 2. 1. Right foot settles. Forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, hold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands start. Step it out, sway it out, shake it out, grab some water. We'll come to meet in the middle of our mat, facing the long edge. As you arrive there, just close your eyes. Perhaps checking in with your points of connection, feeling stable and strong, rooted through 2 feet to the mat. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, chair pose, hands to heart. Hips are sinking down and back, knees stacking over ankles, shoulders pressing back. Exhale, releases forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, reach. Heel toeing the feet out to wide angle shape. Maybe the crown of the head reaches closer to the mat. Inhale, lifts halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lifts once more. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stacking the spine up. Exhale, hands apart. Turning your left toes to the short edge of the mat, sinking down to warrior two. And strong and stable here. We hold in warrior two for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flipping the front palm to exalt, up and back. Inhale, returns. Exhale, tips, extended side angle. Maybe this time you let that bottom arm hover in front of the foot. Bringing your gaze down to the big toe of the left foot. Then the gaze shifts towards your block. You can bring your top hand to your hip or leave it floating as you launch it forward to balancing half moon. Maybe you use your block. Maybe you float your hand. Hovering in half moon for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bending through the back knee, the front knee, settling the back foot down. Warrior two. Straightening through the front leg, tip it forward. Extended side angle. And bending through the front knee, coming up on the back toes, lizard lunge, active and strong here. Left knee hugs the left shoulder. Crown of the head, still reaching slightly up. And creeping the hands to the long edge of the mat, the left toes turn toward that corner of the mat. Let me sink it down for a hip stretch. And shifting weight 2 feet, big toes to the long edge. Wide angle forward fold. Maybe you grab your elbows here. And take a little bit of a twist or sway. And walking your hands forward, taking an extended down dog. Chest pressing through and down toward the mat. And then walk it back in. Inhale, lifts us halfway. Exhale, folds. Inhale brings us all the way up. Exhale, hands apart. Turning your right toes to the short edge of your mat as you sink in to warrior two on the second side. Shifting if you need, your stance might have widened. Holding and loving your warrior for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Front palm flips to exalt, up and back. Keeping the front knee bent. Inhale, returns, tipping it forward. Maybe the hand hovers this time, extended side ankle. Gaze goes down. Hand can stay floating or come to the hip as you launch it forward to balancing half moon. Stabilizing, maybe you hover the hand. As we find half moon for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Front knee bends, returning to warrior 2. Straightening through the front knee, tip it forward, triangle. And bending through the front knee, 2 hands on the inside as you pop up on the back toes, lizard lunge. We'll creep our hands toward the long edge, back foot hops onto the heel, hip stretch. And shifting 2 feet to the long edge, pausing, and wide angle forward fold. Then heel toeing the feet till they're a little bit wider than hip distance. Toes are angled out slightly, heels are in. We sink our hips down into yogi squat. Maybe you stop and put your hands on top of the quads before your hips drop down. Maybe you reach, pressing the elbows into the knees as the shoulders reach down and back, chest opens to the ceiling, yogi squat. Hips dropping down. Hands release, knees straighten, feet underneath the hips, heel toe. Inhale, halfway lifts. Exhale, holds. Inhale, chair pose. Hips sinking down and back, hands to heart center. Lifting the heels for 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Inhale, release. Exhale, hands to heart. Step it out, shake it out, grab a sip of water. Wipe it down if you need. Then, meeting at whichever is the top edge of your mat for you today, right? We've been using the short edge as the front on both sides. So what else? Just pick a side and take yourself to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, hinges, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plants the hands, steps it back to high plank. Maybe you lower from here. Maybe you lower the knees and lower chest down. Inhale, cobra, baby cobra, up dog. Exhale, hands make a pillow for the forehead. Pausing. Reassessing your points of connection and contact. Feeling how such a grounded posture Might immediately begin to release and relieve tension, feeling supported by your mat. Inhale brings you up as your elbows stack under the shoulders for Sphinx pose. Legs are as close together as possible. Shins, kneecaps, shoelace studs of the feet on the mat. Feeling strong and stable, engaging the core. You don't sink into the low belly. And pressing through the hand if you so choose to lift into King Cobra. Elbows are slightly soft. Belly is engaged. Hands are active. Neck is long. Exhale releases. Hands make a forward pause. The hands come under the shoulders, toes can tuck or not. And you shift the hips back to child's pose. Revisiting our first posture of the day. Noticing how perhaps the hips sink ever so slightly more toward the heels. And finding comfort in the connection and point of contact of your body to the mat. And stacking yourself up. Letting the hips drop to one side. We're going to make our way down to the mat. So legs can come in front, shimmy around, so that your whole body is on the mat. Then guide yourself down. Keeping the feet planted on the floor to start. Arms can come out T-shape. Revisiting how your points of connection have shifted. You might feel the shoulders reaching down, and the shoulder blade or both press into the mat. You're not forcing your low back down, you're honoring the natural curvature of your spine. As you pause in this neutral shape. And just gently let the knees do some windshield wipering. Up and over, drawing rainbows with the knees. Sort of like you're drawing a double rainbow. The next time the knees drop to the right, let them pause there. Maybe your left arm reaches up overhead. Maybe your right hand grabs the left wrist, giving an extra stretch to that left side body. Releasing the arms. And the knees rainbow up and over to the second side. Right arm reaches, left hand finds the right wrist. If you so choose to take that side body stretch. Arms release, knees come back center. Hugging your right knee into the chest, and then choosing to extend or keep the left leg bent. Maybe take that little quad sway across the belly. Coming to stillness in the center, swapping your grip from your shin to your hamstring as you stretch your right heel toward the ceiling. Maybe take a couple bends and stretches. Maybe you hug the quad a little closer to the body each time. Maybe you stay straight over your hip. And you can stay here. It's a pretty active stretch here, so you're pulling on the hamstring towards you while you push the hamstring into your hands. You might feel some really nice squareness across the hips. A nice stretch, an active stretch here. You can stay here, or maybe your hands slide up closer to the foot, bringing that foot towards your nose. And bending that knee so you can reach the blade edge of your right foot with your right hand and open into half happy baby. You can stay here with the bend, you can spin and straighten the leg. With your foot still in your hand, go ahead and plant your left foot on the floor if you have not already done so. You might be able to press the knee a little farther back. Then we're going to release the foot and figure four the right ankle over the left knee. Shifting into a little bit of figure four hip stretch or reclined pigeon, you can take your right hand and thread it through, reaching the back of the thigh or clasping around the shin. Using that right elbow if you so choose to create resistance. Maybe you sway, maybe you're static. And releasing your left shin, right foot across the floor, pause. Then hug your left knee in. Basket gripping around the shin as you choose to extend or keep the right knee bent. Hugging the quad in, maybe swaying across the chest. Or belly or wherever it touches, ribcage. And pausing in the center, swapping your grip from the shin to the hamstring. Let me take a few stretches and bends, just seeing where this hamstring is, so that you know where the depth of stretch might go today. And starting with that active stretch, hands behind the thigh, hamstring pushing into the hands pulling the hamstring close. Feeling squareness across your hips. Staying here, or perhaps hands slide up, releasing into a slightly deeper stretch. And bending that knee so you can reach the blade edge of the left foot with the left hand. Happy, half happy baby on our second side. Feeling free to bend and straighten the leg. This leg has no interest in straightening, so I'm going to keep it bent. That is much tighter on that side today. Happy baby is a pretty active stretch as well. You're pulling down on the foot while pushing the foot into the hand. And half happy baby is sort of like a half sumo squat on the ceiling. And keeping your left leg where it is, plant your right foot on the mat if it's not already there. Maybe get a little bit of a press of the knee back. And then the left ankle figure fours. And we shift in to recline pigeon, threading the left hand to the thigh or around the shin for your external rotator stretch on your second side. And the foot plants, left foot on figure fours. And you can pause, finding any final posture your body may be needing, perhaps up an inversion of some sort. Maybe you catch momentum for supported shoulder stand, hands to the low back. Maybe you let the legs float for waterfall or tiger. Maybe you press into a bridge. Perhaps for shoulder stand, you drop eventually into plow. You've got about a minute or so to round out your practice with anything else you may need. Maybe you need something even more gentle. Perhaps you go ahead and opt for a knee hug. We haven't hugged both knees to the chest. So maybe your body needs that. Full happy baby is also a nice option. Or maybe some additional spinal twist to close out your practice so that you can find comfort and support as you connect and stabilize on your mat. When you're ready, no rush, you can begin to settle for Shavasana. When you settle, maybe you take up space, maybe you shimmied over to a wall for legs up the wall. Maybe you keep your feet planted on the mat with the knees bent to protect the lower back. Wherever you've chosen to settle, focus your awareness on the points of contact and connection to the mat. Often, when things feel chaotic, or feel disconnected, something to always draw your attention to. If you're standing, pay attention to your feet. Focus on the contact and grounded sense you can rejuvenate and recover by becoming aware of the parts of your body that are in contact with the ground. So in Shavasana, the majority of your body is in contact. You are stable, supported, and grounded. Maybe life is swirling chaotically around you, and that's fine. But on your mat, it's still calm and grounded. Each point of contact is serving and supporting the body. Allowing the breath to circulate the body. you surrender to your Shavasana. Maybe you repeat to yourself the mantra, I can always find my connection. I'm connected and interconnected. Perhaps continuing to carry that idea of connection. We move forward. Many of us are still continuing to live in this particularly unprecedented time. We are less connected in proximity to many of our family members and friends still. And that can sometimes make us feel isolated. And that isolation creates chaos in our minds and our bodies. We feel that disconnection. So as you're ready, you can begin to bring yourself out of Shavasana. Giving yourself permission to explore connection and contact. Although that connection and contact is often far different than maybe we're used to or we prefer. But it can still have important impacts as we move through everyday life. As you begin to find movement through the body, perhaps you deepen the breath. Eventually taking a full body stretch, fingers away from toes, and you can hug the knees to the chest. And yogi's choice on how you arrive at a comfortable seat. Maybe you rock and roll, maybe you roll to one side, or maybe you're not ready to leave Shavasana, and that's okay too. That is one of the positives of practicing at home. You can add or settle into postures for however long serves you. As you're ready, we meet in our seat. Spine is long, joints are stacked. Eyes are closed or downcast. As we inhale, arms reach high, palms meeting at the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hands pause at your third eye as you seek openness of mind. they rest at your lips so that you find honest words. And they settle at your heart as you arrive at a happy heart. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide for your practice. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. And again, I'm sorry to only have a recorded class for today. But hopefully it is a good class for you, and I will see y'all next time.